Hi everybody, Mr. Chris here with today's English lesson. In this video we are going to accomplish three things. First, we're going to go over your assignments, what's due today, what's being assigned today, and what quizzes need to be taken today. After that, we are going to cover some mistakes you're making with personal pronouns, or different kinds of pronouns. And finally, we are going to cover the new grammar material. Okay, assignments. First, let's deal with what's due today at 8:30 a.m. In grammar, that's pages 186 through 189. Exercises A through D. In lit, that would be numbers 1 through 6. From the Valley of the Shadow of Death. Finally, in VSP, that's list 26, exercises A through B. Second, let's deal with what's assigned for today. So all these assignments will be due on Monday, April 27. In grammar, that's pages 190 to 192. In lit, that's reading the last leaf and answering questions 1 through 5. In VSP, that's writing the list 27 spelling words 5 times. Third, let's deal with the quizzes you need to take today. Both of these quizzes are due today, Friday, April 24 at 3 o'clock p.m. In grammar, that's quiz 15, which deals with everything we've learned so far about pronouns. And in VSP, that's quiz 26, which focuses primarily on the spelling and vocab words from list 26, but also reviews the spelling and vocab words from lists 24 and 25. Remember to use Quizlet to get ready for that quiz. Once again, both of those quizzes are due today by 3 o'clock p.m. Now, on to the grammar lesson for today. We're going to start today by looking over a section that proved really difficult last time. Please get your grammar work texts and turn to page 182. Go to exercise A. Here you have to underline the antecedents. Recall that an antecedent is the word for which the pronoun stands. Then you had to write a pronoun that agreed in number with the antecedent that you had underlined. Now, everybody did really well from numbers 1 through number 8. After that, the wheels began coming off the grammar bus. There were a couple of issues that caused you to struggle with selecting the correct antecedents. But before we begin, you need to understand something. That is that an antecedent has to be either a noun or a pronoun. An antecedent cannot be any other part of speech. Okay, let us begin. Here is problem number 1. You confused adjectives with pronouns. You see, many of the personal pronouns can also be used as adjectives. Let me show you. So go to number 9 in your work text. The word few is used as an adjective describing students. How many students? A few students. So in this case, few is being used as an adjective, not a pronoun. That's the first thing you have to watch out for. Don't confuse adjectives for personal pronouns. How do you tell the difference? Just see if a noun or a pronoun comes directly after. And if it does, you've probably got an adjective on your hands. Now, go to number 10. Number 10 presented the same challenge. Some is an adjective describing millionaires. How many millionaires? Some millionaires. Okay, let's go on to number 11. Number 11 presented a different problem. In this case, you confused a conjunction with a pronoun. You see, the word neither can be either a conjunction or a pronoun. When used as a conjunction, neither is always used in a pair with its partner nor. Neither nor. Neither here nor there. Neither I nor he. In this case, the word neither was used as a conjunction. Okay, this one will be easy to catch in the future. Just remember that the word neither is a conjunction if it's used along with nor. Moving on. Number 12 presented the final problem. In this case, you struggled to choose the correct antecedent out of a bunch of options to get matched with the pronoun further into the sentence. Our options here are Ethan, one, and musician. So which of those is it going to be? Well, if we examine this sentence closely, we'll see that the only option can be musicians. Is Ethan a singular or plural noun? Singular. Is one a singular or plural pronoun? Singular. Now, let's jump to the clause at the end of the sentence. Who practice? Is practice a singular or plural verb? It's plural. Singular verbs end in S. That rules out both Ethan and one, leaving us with only musicians, because musicians is the only plural option. Okay, now that we've dealt with the problems with identifying antecedents, let's deal with getting the wrong pronouns in the blanks. This problem mostly came from choosing the wrong antecedent. In number 12, if you chose Ethan or one as your antecedent, that meant you were going to choose the singular pronoun his to put in the blank. Since the antecedent was actually the plural noun musicians, that meant you need to use the plural personal pronoun their instead. So to make sure you get this issue worked out, remember to check back to your lists on page 181. They are found under number 1, A, B, and C. Finally, let's deal with a problem many of you had on page 183, exercise E, with number 5. In this case, you need to write a sentence that illustrated Rule 1E, which says pronouns that refer to compound antecedents joined by or nor usually agree with the nearer antecedent. So here's an example. Neither Greg nor Emily likes fishing in the rain. English speakers struggle with this rule because our brains automatically think and instead of or nor. We think Greg and Emily like. The word like is a plural verb that is used when Greg and Emily are used together, making it a plural subject. Greg and Emily like. However, when the word nor or is used, we have to look at the nearer word to the verb to decide if the verb should be singular or plural. In this case, the word is Emily, so we have to say Emily likes. Neither Greg nor Emily likes fishing. That was the error many of you made, but as you may have noticed, that actually deals with getting the correct verb, not the correct pronoun. Well, if you get your verb right in a case like this, the pronoun becomes really easy to pick out. Let's work with one more example. Neither Mr. Chris nor Mr. B has eaten his lunch yet. In this case, we choose Mr. B to determine the verb and the pronoun. Since Mr. B is singular, we use the verb has eaten. Since Mr. B is singular, we use the singular personal pronoun his. Whew! Okay, now that we've got that done, let's move on to nominative case pronouns. Please turn to page 190. Today we're going to start learning about the different cases of pronouns. So far, we've learned about the different types of pronouns, which are personal, interrogative, demonstrative, indefinite, compound, and relative. Now we're going to learn about the cases, which are nominative, objective, and possessive. So what's the difference between the two ways of categorizing pronouns? The first way, which is the type of pronouns, mostly deals with number and gender. The second way, which is the cases, deals with how the pronouns are used within the sentence. So let's begin. Now, I'm going to put a chart up on the screen that summarizes the cases and their uses. Okay. Okay, here's the chart. So as you can see, we've got nominative case pronouns on the very left, and then objective case and possessive case pronouns on the very right. So how are these used? Well, excuse me. Nominative case pronouns are used as subjects, predicate nominatives, and then the appositives of either subjects or predicate nominatives. The objective case pronouns are used as direct objects, indirect objects, and objects of the preposition. Those are easy to remember because they all have the word object in their label. And then lastly, the possessive ones are used to show ownership. Okay, now, these all come in different forms depending which of the case that we have, but we're really dealing with the same kind of word. So you see here in the nominative case, we use the word I. So we use the word I when we are dealing with a subject, a predicate nominative, or an appositive for the subject or the predicate nominative. Then we use the objective form of the word, which is me, when we are talking about direct objects, indirect objects, or objects of the preposition. Finally, if we're showing ownership, we use my or mine. Okay, let's go through each one of these examples. So I, me, my, mine. He, him, his. She, her, hers. We, us, our, ours. They, them, their, theirs. Who, whom, whose, whoever, whomever, whosever, or whosevers, or whoever's. Okay, so today we're going to be dealing with the nominative and the objective case pronouns. So again, nominative case pronouns are I, he, she, we, they, who, whoever. And the objective case pronouns are me, him, her, us, them, whom, whoever, or whomever. Okay, back to me. Today we're learning about nominative case pronouns. So pause the video and read numbers 1 through 4 on page 190. Okay, now that you have read numbers 1 through 4, let's deal with exercise A. Here are your instructions. Cross out each incorrect pronoun in parentheses. Now let's go to number 1. Number 1 says, whomever turned in the watch should claim the reward. Now check your list. Is whoever or whomever nominative? It's whoever. Cross out whomever. On to number 2. Mark and him played a clarinet duet in the assembly yesterday. Check your list. It's he. Cross out him. All right. Remember to do exercise B at the bottom of the page as well. Let's move on to page 191. Pause the video, read numbers 5 through 8. Okay, let's go to exercise A. Number 1, the leaders of the Reformation were Martin Luther and he, and several other courageous men. How's our word being used here? Let's dissect. The verb is were. Who or what were? Leaders were. What kind of verb is were? It's a linking verb, so we know that our word is going to be a predicate nominative. Check your list. Is the nominative case pronoun him or he? It's he. Cross out him. Okay, number 2. My favorite Bible characters are Caleb and him. Once again, the linking verb signals we're looking for a predicate nominative. The nominative case is he. Cross out him. Now, I know these sound awkward, but it's correct. Now, also remember to do exercise B. On to page 192. Here, we're introduced to the next case, which is objective. So pause the video and read numbers 1 through 4 on the page. Okay, now let's move on to exercise A. Number 1, the old man gave the detective and him directions to the crumbling well. Let me just give you a huge hint here. Everything on this page is going to be in the objective case. Therefore, we're looking for the word him. Number 2, the manager gave they, them, and I, me a tour of the factory. Again, the objective case of each of these pairs is them and me, so cross out the other options. Don't forget to do exercise B at the bottom of the page. Alrighty guys, that concludes our English lesson for today. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me by call or by chat. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks, Mr. Chris.